Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be getting into another foundation review. I know that we are in a season of flawless skin and foundations, which I love. I'm here for it. So today we are going to do the long-awaited Mcgrath foundation and the powder. So here we go. Mcgrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation Fondant, 35 milliliter. You have a little over 1 ounce, 1.18 full ounce, a liquid foundation. The claim says it's buildable, perfecting coverage, weightless texture, sublime satin finish, runway tested, mother approved. Love it. Short, sweet, straight to the point. Powder in light medium 2. I bought this during the Sephora sale. I haven't opened it yet. We're going to get into that. I'm going to do this underneath the eye. This is shade 18. It's super cute. I like the cardboard. It goes with her aesthetic. Heavy in weight. I love the feel of it. Glass with a pump bottle. Very Estee Lauder-ish, which is fine. I love Estee Lauder. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it. I am going to use my Sonia Kashuk sponge. I prefer a sponge. I'm going to be using a sponge, although she has a brush. I should do half like a brush like I did with the Charlotte Tilbury. Matter of fact, I am. Just 1 minute. Let me go get a brush, okay? Okay, guys. So, we're back. I'm going to do half with beauty sponge and the other half with a brush. Since her foundation system, Sublime system it did come with 2 brushes, but the option was to use it with a brush. We're going to do one side with a brush, one side with a sponge to see which application we like better. I'm already prepped right now for this foundation. I have on my Tarte Poreless in my pore area, and then I have my Hydro by Milk Makeup. Okay, so let's get started. Now, we're going to go in. This is my right shade. And we're going to do, first off, it's thin and it is light. It's very thin. So we'll just start with that, okay? I don't know if I'm going to do... Yeah, let's keep on. It's very thin. Very thin and watery, I would say. Which is fine. I don't mind. As long as the coverage is bomb. And I don't care about applying 50 million coats until I get to my desired result. Okay? So, there we go. Good shade match. So, we're going to do one side. Okay. I like the coverage. That's one side, and this is without. So you can see. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with a brush. This is the Real Techniques brush. Buffing brush. So I'm going to just buff it in. And this is with a Real Techniques brush. So as you can see, I feel like I get more coverage with an actual sponge. You can see I don't have no concealer on. And this is side by side. This is with a sponge. And then this is with a brush. Can you see a difference on the application? I feel like because of the brush, it goes on. It is thinner. It is a thin foundation, so I feel like you will probably use more. But I don't feel like... Okay, so this disperses it differently. It's thinner on this side, more of a natural. I feel like with a sponge it gives you more coverage. Or it's just me. Either way, I don't even need to put another one. I still have enough on here. I'm just gonna go on and just match the other side. I think I like the sponge better. I like that this foundation is thin, that I can tell you. So this is with the sponge application all together. We're going to put on some concealer. So I'm going to use the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer underneath my eyes because I do have the powder. So this will be next to my routine anyway. Okay, so highlighted the whole mid area, and I want to do powder. This is in the shade light medium. Fetish Sublime Perfection Setting Powder. So, whoa. This powder, I can tell you already. No. Oh. Hate that. Okay, so one thing. If I can catch I like the foundation, but what happens with a lot of these foundations reminds me of thing. I'm gonna start already right by saying it. I can see my pores, like it sinks into my pores, even though I use my Tarte poreless thing. And I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna show you guys. Look. Excuse me. Can you guys see right here? Like, this is the... I do not like that. And that's, I know, because of the foundation. Hold on one second. Okay, guys. I'm back. I had to regroup. I was a little choked up about the powder. With the powder. First things off, let's get this out of the way. I know this is a review, but I know offhand whether I like something or I don't. This powder, for me, I love you, Pat Mcgrath, but this powder does not work for me. It just doesn't. I do not like that. It's almost too chalky. I don't want to say chalky in the sense that it makes what's the right word? It's very starchy, if that makes sense. I don't like the way it looks underneath here. I would only use loose powder underneath my eyes, and it's not very, I don't want to say smoothing for me. Now maybe I might be using it wrong, but I know how to use powder. So for me, not saying this is a bad powder, just did not work for me. For me, I don't like this type of powder. And that's my thoughts on that. Now let's get to the foundation. Where do I have it? Okay, so I like the foundation. I like the way my products went on top of it. I think that the foundation is very beautiful. It's a natural finish, true to natural finish. I don't feel like it's a natural full coverage. So it's not full coverage in the sense that it's like a cake face full coverage. It's a natural full coverage, if that makes sense, because it's thinner formula, so it goes on, you can layer on it, but it's never going to be like a full coverage. I feel like you do have to have decent skin to use this foundation. Point blank. This is your skin enhanced, if that makes sense. So if you already have a good foundation of skin, which we talk about all the time, I told you guys about good skin, you have to have good skin. I like the way it looks on me right now. I think the foundation is beautiful right now. But it did, I feel like, enhance my pore section, and I use stuff for my pores. And I think that's because, yes, the formula is thin. So I feel like if you're using this, you have to have good skin, like almost poreless skin, if that makes sense. If it's used on runway models, I can see that. Why? Because it's people already have pretty good skin. And I think that's exactly what this is for. I think I fairly have pretty good skin, and I think it looks beautiful with the rest of my products. I think it went on beautifully. I love the way it looks. It is bothering me about the pore situation. I try to mask that, powder it. Overall, I like the way my makeup looks today, and I like the foundation. I just feel like this foundation is not going to be for everybody, if that makes sense. I feel like you have to have decent skin in order to have this, to use this foundation. I love the way it does look. I just feel like this is not going to be for everybody. Okay, and that's okay. It's okay. Yes, so right now, I'm loving the foundation. I do love the foundation. I don't like the way it goes into my pores, but I can kind of work around that because I do like the finish, if that makes sense. And again, I don't believe this is foundation for everybody. And that's just my honest review. So, I hope that, guys, that helped you out a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is my review. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I love you guys so very much. And see you next time. Mwah.